Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, episode 9 of the greatest podcast in this room, currently being recorded and shot. I'm joined once again by a legend already in the making on this podcast. Not even in the making. You already are a legend.
Been made.
A made legend. Mr. Cory Mautz.
And I'm made in the USA.
Made in the You're goddamn right you are. Mm-hmm. You're about as American as a Bruce Springsteen song.
I wonder about this hat.
No, what is the hat?
This is a hairy
Gant.
Let's see.
Look at that hair. That back hair, it's looking...
Made in the USA.
That back hair is looking good.
Man.
Listen.
And my fiance is a hairdresser.
A good problem to have.
You know what I mean?
It's a good problem to have.
You know? I just hate getting my hair cut.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
You know? It's like 15 minutes, but it's like, well, yeah, sorry.
Yeah. No problem. No big deal.
Anyway. But you remember what it was like.
I do. I do. I remember the glory days.
Do you?
I remember when I could actually feel wind.
What was your preferred hairstyle? Did you do the bang? Did you do the
It was probably good that I went bald. Because I don't think my hairstyles were good. You know, you did remember the phase, like, what was it, maybe like in the 90s, when you spike the bangs up.
Spike the bangs up.
Right?
And it's like it's not.
The boy bands, I think, were to blame for that.
Well.
And then you spiked it all up. Right?
I don't think I went full spike. I don't think I ever went full spike.
Yeah, if I could do it all over again, would have totally did the long hair.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Not long, but maybe like shoulder length.
But in high school or in that era, like say your sophomore year, you go through that phase where it just looks like trash.
Look, you're figuring it out. You figured it out.
And that's not the time to figure things out with how your appearance is.
Sure.
You know.
Even worse, I went through the phase where you would wear the visors. Remember the visor
backwards,
phase?
Upside down.
And then you spiked the hair out of the visor. Guy Fieri. I was Guy Fieri before Guy Fieri.
I had one of them.
Listen, I don't think that phase lasted very long, though.
Visors are cool, though.
They are. I'll tell you what, when you're bald, a visor does nothing.
Yeah, it just does nothing.
Yeah, you might as well not even wear it.
You a hat guy?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I say that I'm not wearing a hat on this episode, but
what?
Listen, this is what it is.
You know what I mean?
I'm at the point now.
At least you don't do that thing where, like,
I'm just trying to keep it?
Yeah.
Oh, I've accepted it.
You know.
Plus, I've got plenty of this right here.
That's what happened.
Yeah.
You know, there's...
My body was like, listen, we can't do all of this.
Yeah.
And we're going here.
Your hair's growing inside and the chest is like,
I started... Do you remember when you first started growing, like, chest hair? Like, how old you were?
It took me a while.
Because I started getting it in 7th grade.
Yeah.
And I was very self-conscious, too, when you go play basketball, shirts and skins. You're like, oh,
you're the guy, what's the character, the Long King Polly?
Yeah.
What's that actor? He's
Philip
dead.
Seymour Hoffman. Yeah, when he's like, he goes, you want to switch guys? He's like, no, I'm just starting to get this guy figured out.
I was a late bloomer on that.
On Long King Polly?
Well, no. And body hair.
Well, it's not a bad thing.
I didn't even know it was like a thing. I went to Gus Mackerman. I was probably 8th grade. And I'm laying back, and Weaver was like, dude, you don't have any armpit hair? I'm like, I don't know. I guess I don't.
Thanks for calling it out.
Yeah, so like practice, I would take a black Sharpie and then wet it and spread it. So where it's like real quick if I go up to get a layup.
So, the thing is, it probably didn't even look like hair. It probably just looked like smeared Sharpie.
Well, if I was going like this and you stared at it, you would know. But if I'm, when we're at basketball practice, I go up for a quick rebound. It's like,
somebody would get
you just see black.
Somebody would get high just smelling your armpits. And then
maybe
fucking
that's what
markers.
happened to me.
Yeah.
You don't shit.
That's hilarious, though. That was in 8th grade?
Yeah, it was about 8th grade.
When I look back on it, being when we would play shirts and skins, I look back on it and I'm like, yeah, you're goddamn right. I had some chest hair in 7th grade. Just showed those boys at an early age what a man looked like.
You know what I mean?
It's not a race, but I
think
I might have been first.
You still can't really grow hair,
Yeah, well, it came back to bite me.
Like, I tried the beard thing. Like, this side grows decent. But this side, it's all patchy.
Patchy?
Yeah.
I get it every now and then, like over in here.
Yeah, but you got,
every time I go to, trim my beard, though, it's like immediately I go, what have I done? You know what I mean?
Because, you make one mistake,
but then you try to overcompensate on the other side, and it's all bad news from there.
You can't do it. I've done that before. It's like, oh, no. What have I done?
Mistakes were made.
Mistakes were made. Mistakes have, like for me, it's the mustache.
Yeah. I would like to get this bad boy to where...
Like I don't like it to touch me. Like I constantly.
Oh, this is bad right now.
I constantly just
this
do this.
This is bad right now. I need to trim it.
Yeah.
Because...
Hot dogs.
See, I have lips.
If you eat a hot dog with ketchup and mustard.
Yeah, bad news bears.
Stick a little
I'll tell you what, the other worst part is you do like you do a shot of Fireball. The next day,
you can still taste
this
it.
thing is like stickier than a motherfucker. You know what I mean? I think it's from the Fireball. If you know what I mean. It's definitely from the Fireball.
But it could not be from that.
Speaking of which, you had a little Sunday fun day today?
Yeah.
What you were with the OG, Mike Mautz.
I'm a weekend warrior.
Right.
And when, you do Friday, then Friday overlaps into Saturday a little bit.
It starts running together.
And then Saturday, then you're just like, well, got to put the hair on the dog.
Yeah.
I
got to do something here to make this
exactly.
right.
This doesn't feel good. And then, boom. And then
it's like, I don't want to do this, but I have to.
I have to. And then Saturday just bleeds into Sunday. Well, I woke up today, you can only do so much.
I need to get back on
Got
track.
up about 9:30, just felt like a mess. And Kim's like, well, let's go get some brunch somewhere. Nice day. I was like, all right. She sends a text out to the Pops.
It is Father's Day?
Father's Day. Well, I went golfing with them yesterday.
You're Farger.
The Faja.
What did he say? His Farger?
Farger? Dad. Who's that?
Nigel Powers.
No, he gets up on when he does his commencement speech.
Oh,
gold member.
Take a bow.
Stand up, Daddy. Take a bow. So then Dad's like, yeah, I'll go. Well, then Dad sends a text to the brother. Yeah, I'll meet up.
Family affair now.
You got unleaded.
So at this point, you're like...
You got unleaded premium diesel fuel. I mean,
Yeah, at this point, you're like, hey, going to be putting some fuel into the tank.
Yeah, went and got some brunch, and then, you got to go to another place,
Well,
we found this little Newark downtown, I'm talking the Center Pub. I don't know, can you put pictures up?
Maybe.
Like if I sent you,
yeah. Well, you think they would be offended if we promote them on the podcast?
No.
I think they would be thrilled if anyone promotes.
They loved us. She took our picture, the bartender lady. And it's like one of those places where after like 6 o'clock, you just kind of bartend yourself.
It seems like it's a place where you.
It's your crowd.
It seems like when you tell other people, yeah, Center Pub, and they're like, Center Pub, in Newark, and you're like, yeah. They're like, that place has been out of business for 20 years.
Yeah.
And it was just all ghosts.
Large Marge Central.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then, so I went from there, had a great time. Well, then they have a separate room where like there's pool tables. Nice little, dude, this place, pretty cool.
That's a legit spot.
We thought a guy was dead. So we walk out, and there's a video my dad took. We felt a little bit bad about it later because there was a point for about 5 minutes where we did think the guy was dead. So I walk out, and I'm like, yeah, we can play pool out here. Just watch out for the guy sleeping. This old guy, he passed out. So my dad, he has to take a couple pictures with him and while he's passed out and does a little dance video. So we start playing pool, and the bartender comes out. She can't wake him up. She's trying to tap him. And we're like, oh, no.
So you're at this point, we might have...
Yeah, we're like, well, we're going to have to blow our... We're going to have to delete all this off.
They're going to lock down the building. They're going to have to interview you guys.
Well, we're technically the last people that saw him.
Yeah.
We have a video.
Yeah, like it's getting sketchy at this point.
But he had a Mountain Dew. Probably mixed with something. I don't know. And I'm like, no, I think his chest is moving. But the bartender couldn't get him up. And it was a little... And then, of course, Kim goes by and taps him, and he wakes up, and I said... That's a man right there. He smelled. He smelled, a woman.
He thought he was scared. Like maybe is that my wife?
Yeah, he's passed out, and he's like, "Oh, that's a woman." And he just perked up. It's just I couldn't explain.
That's a man who's put in his time.
They catered, like it was free. Like we ate at the Barrel and Boar before, so we weren't hungry. But people would just bring in crock pots. And there was like Conn's potato chips and cheese trays.
Like a fucking potluck?
And we were just getting ready to leave at the end of the night. And there was like subs. They brought subs in. And then the bartender, I was getting ready to leave. And it was just a very friendly atmosphere. And I cleaned up after ourselves. I'm like, you know what? I'm not disrespecting this bar. Grabbed my beers and took it over to a trash can. And then there was another lady that had been there all day. She'd been there all day. And she goes, do you need help? I will go out and get the bartender for you. I'm like, nope, I'm just cleaning up. It's just family environment.
Right. Just some old
Center
school
Pub,
folks.
I'm telling you.
Center Pub.
I think it might be my new Sunday.
That's your spot?
And the funny thing is, so you walk in and it's it's a weird, like you can walk in through the street, but we walked in through, it says arcade, and it's you know, you walk through this like hallway, and I thought they were selling refrigerators, so it's like refrigerators sitting outside this bar. It's really weird. And we go in, it's real small. Well, there's 4 of us, and there was 4 bar seats, bar stools, and there was one on the corner, on the end. And I'm like, I'm going to sit here.
Right.
But I know damn well, this is somebody's spot.
Oh, that's regulars.
It's a regular spot.
Yeah, for
this
sure.
This guy walks in looking like ZZ Top. And I instantly told my brother and then I said, I'm sitting up. This is his seat.
Let me get up.
This is his seat. This is his seat.
Let me get up for old Billy Gibbons.
Yeah.
Yeah, you immediately knew just by this guy's swagger.
The one on the end. You don't take, when you go to a dive bar
No. Yeah.
and you've never been, you don't take that one on the end.
That's having been to a rodeo before.
Yeah.
We know how
it's
this
bar
works.
etiquette.
It's bar etiquette. Especially because that one stool was there almost like it was by itself. It was waiting for its regular. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but
it's like a move. You know, the king's chair.
That's a good move there for you. Very respectful.
The moment he walked in, I said, "Yep, this is his."
Did you feel like a little bit of magic sitting there for the short amount of
I
time
did because you could see everything.
Right.
I was overlooking. You just
survey the bar.
If I was a regular, I mean, that would be my number one go-to spot. Like I would want the king's chair, the head chair.
Right. I want to see everything.
Right. But I didn't know those people, so I fell off.
Well,
but
maybe you'll work your way there.
And then you write dollar bills. You put a dollar bill up on the
They
wall, and and you can hang it. And then the ones that hang, it's a story. It's a continuous story.
Right.
So it's like, "Are you my dad?" And then you know the person goes, "I'm not your dad." And then, "Are you my dad?" And then, "No, I'm the mailman." And then it's just like I continue. I'm telling you.
Did your dad sign one? You put it up there?
Nah, he was full for him.
I've signed something once at a gas station to hang up. It was for a charity though.
Wasn't.
And I don't know what the charity was, and I just wanted the clerk to leave me alone and just cash me out, so I could be on my way. You know what I mean? So I don't want to sign up for your loyalty program. Just sell me what I'm buying and let me be on my way. I had one guy fucking put me in my place one time at a fucking gas station. I went in, and you ever go into a gas station to pay for gas, and you forget what pump you're at, right?
And you do that look. Kind of, I don't know, 7.
You're like, I couldn't see even then what the number was. So I said, I'm right here on the end one. And this fucking son of a bitch looked at me. He goes, "Oh, the little Mazda out there?" And I wanted to fucking grab him by his Duke and Duchess polo and rip him over the counter. Fuck you mean small? That little Mazda. That's regular size. That's how they make them. It's not a miniature version.
This is a sedan.
And then I realized it's because I'm so fucking massive that I make the car look small.
But guess what, gas station man?
Yeah.
You probably rode your bike here.
Just fucking take my money and fucking let me pump the gas.
And go ahead and give me a couple of them scratches.
But let's be honest, I do not look like, if you looked at me, you'd be like,
you're not
a Mazda 3 guy, right?
Well, you weren't an A&F guy either, but...
That's true. I'm a chameleon.
Dude, I go there all the time. It is hilarious. I think of you all the time.
I'm having Casby on next week.
Oh, is he still there?
No, he's out. And
what... Is it free lunches? I know you were kind of...
At Abercrombie?
Yeah.
No. Well, for people that don't know, I used to work at Abercrombie & Fitch's, like their corporate office. And no, not free lunches. They have like a whole cafeteria.
Yeah, they all have the brown... It's like a brown box.
This is one thing with them, is I don't ever want to work at a workplace where you're encouraged, not even encouraged, it's in the code, the dress code, that you have to either wear Chuck Taylors or sandals.
And you have to wear their gear.
Yeah, and you have to pay for it.
No way.
Yeah, you get like 40% off.
Dude, the scooters though, it's like no way.
I could never. It's cult status.
The funny thing is though, is like you had to create a store that nobody went into. Like
So I worked at a prototype store. Yeah. And we would have to set it up.
That is just like. Well, I mean, no offense, but no wonder they cut that job because that was a stupid.
Well, my
position.
job was I read like the stock room, like the inventory.
Yeah.
So like we would get all like the newest styles and shit in, and we'd have to keep it forever for so long, and we'd have to like keep it in inventory like bays and stuff, and keep it tracked. Yeah. Yeah, it was.
Did you ever play basketball on those courts?
No.
Dude,
I went there. I clocked in, and the second I was done, I clocked out. Got the fuck out of there.
I would take my lunch break there sometimes and just watch them play basketball. Oh man, it's entertainment, man. It's like this one guy, he had his hand on the basketball point. He's doing the leg swing, to stretch. You're like,
Well, yeah, you don't want to pull muscle.
Well, I mean,
he has to get on a scooter after that.
there's good-looking women there.
Yeah, we would always
you
have
know?
to they'd send us out to like recruiting trips, right? To like college campuses and stuff to recruit
That's your
kids
demographic.
to come work, right? And I just like started refusing to go.
Yeah.
And they were like, well, like, why don't you want to go? And I said, listen, let's be fucking dead honest here. If I was walking through Easton, would you look at me and be like, that guy is Abercrombie?
That is A&F.
No. Yeah, I don't want to work here. Why am I going to go convince some other kid?
You're more Aeropostale.
I'm more of an Aeropostale kind of guy, yeah.
Well, right now you look a little Pac Sun today, but...
You think this is PacSun? I think I would probably be the one.
I don't know.
Abercrombie.
No way.
It is actually Abercrombie.
Own brand, man.
Yeah, well, I had to buy a beach shirt, right? And I'm like, this one looks good. I like this one.
The funny thing is, you buy a beach shirt to fit in with the locals, but
They don't wear
only
beach
out-of-towners wear beach shirts.
Right, you're like, this guy's from out of town.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's flashy.
I can't wait, dude.
Somebody told me I look like a character from Grand Theft Auto.
Oh, you are.
I said I'm one of the loading screens.
What character? Yeah, you would be... Yeah, I don't know what your role would be in a Grand Theft Auto.
I would not be a playable character. I would just be in the story.
No, you're part of the story.
Vice City. I'd be in Vice City. Great one. This is a great Grand Theft Auto game, right?
Vice City?
Yeah.
It's probably considered...
What was your favorite? Well, a lot of people love San Andreas.
I had like the very first one on like a Game Boy.
You're talking, yeah, it was like the aerial view.
Yeah.
Yeah, Grand Theft Auto 3 was the first one where you could get out of your car. It was like first person, well, not first person, but
You just get out.
yeah, you could get out and do whatever the fuck.
And
you
then
wanted.
you just had to have a certain car to pick up the prostitutes. It couldn't be convertible, and it couldn't be wrecked. Like if you get a car and you bang it up a little bit,
they're not gonna get in the
and you
car.
got to find a secret. You know, you got to find
They're hookers. They have
the
they have
morals.
standards.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, then you would bag them. You would just see the car move, and then when they would get out, you'd kill them and take the money.
Take the money back. I mean,
Yeah,
well,
'cause
that's standard.
That's the one game it's acceptable to be a maniac, right?
Mm-hmm. But I can't wait to. My ideal goal is a retirement home in like Florida. I want to be in one of those communities, you know, where you get like a golf cart.
You want to know
Euchre nights and bingo nights.
What's the one game they play?
Shuffleboard. And I am a shuffleboard. I have a trophy.
You're a king? You have a trophy.
Yep. The condo down New Smyrna Beach, they have a shuffleboard tournament. Now, granted, there was only 4 people. But
listen, you could have finished 4th.
Could have finished 4th. 1. And they gave me a trophy. I got a trophy. I'm pretty good at it.
Dude, that's an elite tournament, though. They're like, hey, listen, we have a trophy, but only 4 people played. Signed up. It's like, hey, I got a good chance of winning a trophy.
I didn't have to say 4. I could have said 19. I could have said 300.
So did you fly down?
No, we drive.
Oh, because I would have totally kept it out of my luggage and stuff. If I was flying back, I would have been like, oh, that's nothing.
Speaking of trivia, it's funny, too. So my brother is like 3 years younger than me. Mm-hmm. So I was like maybe 5. My brother would be like 2. And my mom would enter us in Baby Beautiful pageants.
Are there pictures of...
They
exist?
My parents were very good at recording everything, documenting
mistakes.
Wow. So we would do the Baby Beautiful. Well, granted, number one, I'm already behind the 8 ball because I'm older. I'm 5. I'm not as cute as a little 2-year-old. My brother would win all the time, and I don't remember, but I cried when I lost. I didn't fit. So my grandma used to bowl, and she gave me a bowling trophy. And said that I won. And
you were like, hey, that's weird. It's got a bowler at the top.
Dude,
but you didn't know at that time.
It was a trophy.
I'm going to start calling Tyler Baby Beautiful.
Dude, he won. But yeah, the Nike sign. And I feel bad. I went to Brynwood.
Oh, you're talking about you got shaved in your head.
Absolutely. I went to Brynwood. And great work. I can never remember what her name was. I mean, I was young. And then she would take like an eyeliner pencil or whatever.
Outline it. Give it a little stroke.
No, she would color the whole thing in.
Oh, interesting.
I said a lot of trends. I had a Nike earring.
I did the Nike sign
in the
back of the head.
Did you?
Yeah, I did that once.
We didn't go to the same elementary school.
I remember...
you were in Dresden?
I don't remember... I guess we probably would have met in, 5th grade?
Would have been 5th grade. Well, we might have... Well, we would have
played basketball.
But Dresden and Fraziesburg, because
I remember
that
for some reason, I remember that you and I had the same Dallas Cowboys starter jacket.
And you know what's crazy? Everybody always stole those emblems. Like the zip...
The starter stuff.
On the
zip
in elementary school, I remember it was jacked. I'm like, wow.
Weird.
Kids were
what a fall from grace the starter has found themselves in. I think they're starting to make a comeback in the Like the
Dude, everything just is.
yeah, it's like kind of like a hipster thing.
I had this awesome jacket that I wish I still had. And it's one of those things where, dude, I got rid of a lot of stuff that like.
You look back on it, you're like, that was awesome.
Yeah, but it was a Michael Jordan jacket, and it didn't have like a zipper. It just buttoned up, and it was just like I can't even describe it. Like it was just his whole face, like in the front,
right,
and then like his face, and I guess was just. I mean, today I could probably put that on like Marketplace. And
I had a similar thing. Do you remember when they had Foot Action in the mall?
Foot Action, yeah.
And it was where PacSun. I don't know if PacSun's still there. I don't think it is.
Probably another
But Foot Action
was
actually a pretty big store, right? When they had it,
it's a big place.
I bought a Jordan shirt in there one time, right? I think I was like maybe six. I think I was in 6th grade. It was baby blue, and it had the graphic wrapped around the entire shirt all the way through the back. It was just like one big graphic on the shirt,
like
right?
a panoramic type of
basically. And it was like a bunch of guys playing 5-on-5 in a park, like a park pickup game, right? And in the wall behind them, there was graffiti like on the walls and shit. And they're live right in the dead center of the shirt. The graffiti on the wall said J. Butler on the fucking shirt.
No way.
And I saw it in there, and I went.
Jimmy
I looked
Butler.
at my mom. I was like, "Oh, check it out." She was like, "Oh, wow,
gotta get that." Yeah.
No idea what happened to that shirt. I've actually tried to look it up.
No way.
Yeah, like on eBay.
That?
Couldn't find it.
Dude, I have a card. Like I was a big card collector.
Yeah.
I have like a chest, like a big treasure chest.
I did too. Like one of those like Foot Locker things.
Well, I had one of them. I always wanted.
I had a Chicago Bulls one.
I had a Cowboys one. You put your name on there,
Yeah.
but no, it's like a big chest. And it's got, dude. I have a crazy amount of cards.
Some upper deck cards.
And there's a couple things. I actually looked online, and it's hard to like type it in. But one of them sold for like $1,500. But it's like I have two things that are Michael Jordan that as a kid it was very hard for me to like not open. But it was like the hologram cards, when you flip, and it's the shot against the Jazz. So it's still and it's an original, and you go like this, and it's him over.
You always got those little like plastic sleeves that you slide your cards.
Well, I had the book. Yeah, whenever I got grounded, that's what I would do. I'd go to my room and I'd organize.
I'd go to my card collection.
Yeah, I would just organize it by team or whatever, and then I have a can that says like June 25th, 1998, which would have been whatever day.
It's what'd you say it was?
It's like a can, so like a. Like almost like the size of like a beer can.
Yeah.
Little bigger. Mm-hmm. And it's got cards in it. Never opened it, but it says like June 25th, 1998 or whatever day was the last day that Jordan won his 6th title for the Bulls, which had been definitely 98, late June. Never opened. There's 5 cards in it. I don't know. Maybe there's no Jordan cards in there. Who knows?
So you still have
never opened it.
You don't have it though.
I'm waiting for him to.
Would you still have it?
Yeah, I'm waiting.
You never.
Not to be.
It's like
I'm kind of waiting for him to die.
It's like
I think the value would go up.
What do they call those things that you would put shit in and bury it?
Like a message in a bottle.
It's like similar. Right?
Yeah.
What do they call this?
Will you bury?
Time capsules.
Oh, time capsules.
Remember those?
Well, I do. Well, I don't. I've seen them in movies.
I don't remember.
I don't know. I've never actually known anybody that's ever used one.
I remember doing one in like elementary. I don't remember.
Like one of those things with the beginning of the year, you write something down, and then or like a kindergarten. I think we did it in kindergarten where you write something, and then like your 4th grade graduation, you open it up, and you see where you're like, what do you want to be in 5? Like one of those things. As a kindergartner, you probably couldn't even read what the hell I even wrote, and then like your 4th grade graduation, you open up, it's like. I wanted to be a spaghetti-o. It's like, what?
Spaghetti-o.
I wanted to have inside recess.
Dude, I remember, it's weird that I remember this, but I remember in our kindergarten class, remember like kindergarten, like you were either in the class that went Monday, Wednesday,
every other Friday. Well, that's what we did. And then Tuesday, Thursday.
I remember they, one day they had people come in and like test like it was like kind of like a fucking like diagnostic kind of test like thing, just to see where your learning level is. And weird thing, they brought in like a fucking, like one of those cases that you see at like Kroger.
Deal or no deal?
No, it was like a cardboard like box that they set cans in, like 4 6-packs or whatever.
Right.
And it was each one of us got like they would just dump like corn in it, just like little pieces of corn, right? And it was the candy corn is what it was.
Oh, I like it.
And they would say like. Slide 15 pieces of candy corn to the right side of the box, and then they would go around and just see, like, just testing everybody, see where their level's at, right? And then
Sorry, did you just start nibbling?
this is what I do. I should have done. Looking back, is like I was born to be a smartass. They said, "All right, now grab as many as you can in your hand." So everyone's fucking grabbing it, like holding them up. I just grabbed the box, just did this.
But see,
The teacher was like, "Very good."
you
And
probably
I was
got
like, "Yeah, I'm over this, bitch. Can we get to recess?"
You got put in the PACE program.
I didn't. Nothing ever happened. I think that's when I peaked. I think
You peaked too early.
I peaked too early. I think that's what happened.
I did too.
But it's weird that I remember you remember weird things when you're a kid.
I have a pretty good memory, but yeah, you
so do
swear the
I.
worst things.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, like the shit I remember. I even think to myself, like, how the fuck do I remember that?
And sometimes I wonder, like you hear a story maybe as a kid, like, and then you visualize what that is. So it's like, wait, is that real memory of me remembering that, or is that me picturing myself in that situation? Because like today we were talking about Opryland. I think it's like near Memphis, Tennessee, or something.
Opryland?
Yeah.
Is that Nashville? No, that's great. No, I think it is
Nashville.
Outside. It's like
maybe
right
outside. Yeah, because we went there. They were just talking about today, and they left me. So there's like
your parents left you there.
Like I was like maybe 6. Tyler was just a baby, and it was a grandfather clock store.
That's because they. How fortunate that they didn't forget the beautiful baby winner.
You know what I mean?
They said, "Oh, it's Cory. He's got the Bullard Trophy. He'll be fine."
He's fine. But yeah, it's all got a bunch of these big grandfather clocks. And my dad was like, had the big old camcorder documented, and he's like, yeah, the parking lot was way away, and they got in the car and they're like, holy crap, like no one has Cory. And he's like, yeah, we had to sprint back in and go in and get him. And I was crying. I went to a security guard. Like I did.
Smart.
I know.
Survival instincts.
Come in. And it's like, I don't remember that. But then but I can picture the grandfather. Is that my memory of trying to recollect the situation? Or do I actually
be honest.
remember?
I think, how old were you at this time?
Probably like 5 or 6.
5 or 6, right?
Yeah.
I think if you're that age, right, and you realize and you start looking around like, oh, where are my parents at? And on top of it, you're surrounded by grandfather clocks. That sounds like a nightmare. So that might have been burned into your brain as like a traumatic thing.
I'm not scared of grandfather clocks.
Well, that's good. You've come a long way.
But they are
Could you
creepy.
imagine if you were? It would be like a weird phobia.
Do you think and the dong, like Christmas? I think Christmas is a scarier holiday than Halloween.
Okay.
Because it gets dark early.
But you know
and
what?
like the Christmas music is like dun 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 dun, dun, and it's kind of like
Yeah, but I think the reason why you think that though might be because most people think of Christmas as like a joyful time, happiness, and that's why it would be creepier for something bad to happen on Christmas, right? Halloween's like ghosts and goblins and ghouls, and you're like,
it's like okay, there's a bunch of costumes. But like Christmas, it's like, man, it's kind of scary.
Yeah, it is. It's just a little creepy.
Like if I was going to create like
the Christmas music, I think a lot of it has to do with bells.
But and that's what I'm saying. The
bells,
it's like,
right.
Doom, it's like, uh-oh. When you hear bells.
I think people watching this right now are like, you know what? They're right. Bells are creepy. So are we gonna state right now that we're anti-bells? I'll go that.
Not
far.
bells, gong, like a.
Well, name like a good thing that happens with a bell.
No, because it's usually up against the clock, like boom, uh-oh.
I mean, I guess like the end of the school day, but did they even ring?
Or you're at the bar
and
and
it rang when we were in school.
Yeah.
See, I don't remember.
Wake up in the morning, say by the
Mr. Belding.
Yeah. Do you know the words to that?
Oh yeah, the song.
Yeah.
When I wake up in the morning,
I know.
I feel like I do. If it was playing right now, I'd be nailing it.
I wasn't a big Saved by the Bell fan. I mean, I would watch it.
I watched it when I was younger.
Yeah.
But I appreciate it when watching it now because it's fucking hilarious.
Does it stand up? Like, is it
well,
still
it's cheesy as fuck.
Yeah.
That's why it's great. Like, it's so
What happened
cheesy.
with, like, Lisa Turtle? Like, is what the...
She lost
someone. Well, I know Screech kind of...
yeah, what's her name? She's got Lark Voorhees.
Yeah.
Yeah, she apparently is, like, kind of went crazy.
Because what's the Zach Morris's real name? He's got 3 names or something. What's his?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. He posted a photo like on
Mark something.
Mark, yeah, but he posted a photo like on Instagram and a reunion, but
she wasn't there.
No,
Screech wasn't there.
Screech wrote
Because Screech wrote like a tell-all
was he
book.
racist? Oh,
He wrote like a tell-all book, like trashing all of them. And they were like, "Yeah, you're done. We're not inviting."
Dude, that's hard because whatever. Mark Thompson or Thomas.
I can't think of his name. Mark something.
But he had the lawyer movie. But it's like, man, dude. Like, think about it. He probably made a lot of money for Saved by the Bell. But, dude, you're just, what do they call that? Like, a character actor. Like,
well, yeah, like
you, dude,
you get stuck
we
in
can't look at you.
You get stuck in that fucking, you get typecasted after that.
Typecasted, yeah.
That's like, excuse me, you look at, what's his name? Daniel Radcliffe played Harry Potter. Like,
dude, that movie was that's a blow up.
Yeah, like, he grew up literally through that whole film franchise.
Like, he's Harry Potter.
But he's actually had some decent flicks since then. But he's probably never going to be as big.
He's kind of got like a dark... Yeah, he could
Have you ever seen Swiss Army Man? Crazy movie. You have to fucking check it out. He dude.
Does his fingers have like a corkscrew and then his other finger have a
that's
blade?
like weird shit.
Like as a Swiss
this
Army
guy
knife?
is stranded on like an island, and he finds his dead body in this cave, and he uses this dead body as like a Swiss Army knife to do shit to survive, and it just gets fucking outlandish. It's hilarious.
You say that, though, because one of the guys at the bar today, that dive bar I was talking about, he had a shirt that says necrophilia. Just lay back and crack a beer.
That's what I said, dude. I think that guy might have been a ghost. I think. Are you talking about Jerry? Are you talking about Red Wad Robert Lowry?
I'm not talking about him. He scares me, but.
What do you think about? Well, let's take a break. We'll come back. We'll talk about. We have tons of things to talk about.
Do you have Kit Kats? Because if I take a break,
I see what you're saying.
I gotta have a Kit Kat bar.
No, but
speaking of which, real quick before we take a break,
I do have a Snickers bar because you're being a diva.
You're not you when you're hungry.
You're not you when you're hungry. What were we gonna say?
Are you a candy eater? Like if you're checking out, it doesn't get me.
I'm not a big candy guy. Don't like candy. I don't like ice cream.
I like it.
I like it, but I don't buy it. I don't eat it.
Mm-mm.
Pies. Cakes.
Yeah.
I'm the same way.
If it's there, I'll have some.
Don't really care.
I don't go to the store just to have it.
Don't really care. But that's an interesting thought though, because it's like when you're a kid, you love all that shit.
Yeah. Well, not me. I was always fruit. My parents would give me like an Easter basket, and I just throw it in like the closet. Like 3 months later,
you like fruits?
Fruit, man.
You're like, hey, listen, this Snickers bar is cool, but can I get a pear?
Yeah, more like grapes.
You're a grape
my
guy?
mom, she would take it off the vine, clean them, and just throw them in a big bucket. And grapes, a lot of fiber.
Pro grapes.
Pro grapes, but if you eat too many grapes, your belly will get upset.
Too much, yeah.
But you could toss them off a wall. You know, you could do it.
This is what you did when you were a kid. You threw grapes off the wall.
You know,
it's not like this is why you're doing your
and
card
you can
collection.
fit as many as you can. You know.
Card collection and then throwing grapes off the wall.
I got grounded a lot.
Childhood.
And my mom, if my big groundedness would be like she would take the PlayStation controllers, she'd take them.
Yeah, they're gone.
I knew her hiding spot.
You know what my dad would
under
do?
the oven. You know that little drawer.
The hidden drawer. Not hidden though. When you know.
Yeah.
Interesting hiding place though.
Well, she figures. Well,
my dad would put stuff on top of the refrigerator, and it'd be like, "Hey, listen, I can reach on top of the refrigerator."
Little did she know, I love French bread pizzas, so I'd go in the oven and I'd pull.
Hey, while I'm here,
I pull on there, get that little pizza tray, controllers. But what happens is, now I'm not a parent, so I'm not going to tell people how to parent their kids. Everybody, for me, if you tell me I can't do something, I'm going
to do it. So,
like, if I would have just had the PlayStation, I wouldn't play as much. But when I would, like, she'd be like, okay, you can play for 1 hour. You know? And I'm like, I'm crammed in. You know, go to dinner.
Reverse psychology is what you should use, right?
If you allow it to just, eventually it's like, I don't want to play today.
But wouldn't it be creepy if your mom was like, hey, Cory, you should go play PlayStation?
I wouldn't want to.
And you'd be like, wait, why? Why are you telling me to play that? That's
I don't want to play.
That. Yeah, throw you off a little bit.
Yeah, sometimes it might be a nice day. I don't want to play, but she'd say, hey, you can have an hour. It's like, wow.
Dude, my dad would literally come in and shut the shit off, and he'd be like, outside. You know what his saying was? He would always say, go outside and blow the stink off of you. And I'm like, what the hell is that mean?
Yeah, I've heard that before.
What does that mean? You go outside and sweat a little bit.
Yeah, what do you mean do? Play out on Route 60, Dad?
Yeah.
Well, that was probably still when you were Dresden.
We had tons of stuff to go do, though. We had a basketball court in our neighborhood, so we go down there.
On Dresden? Yeah, see, I didn't.
Yeah, I lived next to the Dotsons and Brian Folks, and we got a championship belt, like a WWE championship belt, At the time, it was WWF at the time. And we had a tournament, and the winner got to take the belt.
Little did you know, it's safe for you to stay inside and play video games.
Now it is.
I'm shocked that I didn't break anything.
Yeah, you're right.
Which I was a little bit more apprehensive. Like my Tyler, he was a little bit more of a go-getter. He was more of a, like he would take a skateboard.
Risks.
And he would build a ramp. And I'm like, well, let me see. Let me think about this for a second.
Like, hey, listen.
If I ramp this bike, I could break my arm or break my leg. There's no girls around. So if I do this
what am I gaining?
And it's successful,
no one sees it.
No one sees it.
Huh.
So, you know.
I like where your head's at.
Yeah.
That's just being smart.
I like to live life below the rim. I don't play above the rim.
If there's someone around that I feel like, hey, I need them to see that I can live above the rim.
Yeah.
I play
at about 7.5 feet hoop.
Right.
Women around, I'll take it up to about 8.5. Then you mix that with a little alcohol. I'll play at about 9.
I'll play at about 9.
I won't go full 10-foot slam,
right.
but I'll take it up.
Yeah. Well, that's learning.
Hey.
That's how growing up, you realize your limitations. You realize, hey, what can I challenge myself to do? I don't think I could have ever touched the rim at 9 feet. Actually, I think I could. But it was a struggle. You know what I mean? I'd usually keep it about 7.5, right?
Yeah.
And then move it up to about 8.5.
Yeah. Let's play below the rim.
Yeah, and then get put on those Nike Shocks and test out them.
When you get up there above that rim, ankles could be twisted.
Listen, life's different above the rim. You know what I mean?
It's not for everybody.
It's not. Mainly for, us, really. It's not, my vertical, it was not meant for me.
Well, I'm metaphorically speaking.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Smart. Let's end on that. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We have so much to talk about. The races coming up. We're going ghost hunting in the future. We have so much to talk about. We'll cover it all after this. For the second half.
It's crunch time.
It's crunch time.
You know what I mean? The players play.
Players play.
Players
Champions
play.
rise to the occasion.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
sorry,
what
this is not the time where I'm sorry, your son's not going to come in.
No. We've had our time to practice.
You know, we put him in the first quarter. Everybody gets to play. He got in the first. It's tired.
Give him some.
It's second half.
Some cleanup time.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's.
Vince Lombardi said something about why. I don't know. Something about
was that Marty?
Vince Lombardi, his quote
he said Marty.
Why play if you keep score? I don't know. I botched it. About,
I think that was the actual quote.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
You sounded like George Bush, who's like, we have to say it in Texas.
I think it's in Tennessee too.
Might be in Tennessee too.
Yeah.
Fool me once, shame on you.
Fool
me twice.
Can't get fooled again.
You're not gonna fool me again. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Was it you that I told you just look up, on YouTube, just George Bush?
You know what's crazy though? When George Bush was running for governor or mayor, years before, probably in the state of Texas, I assume.
Yeah.
But dude, he was very eloquent. He had very good speeches, and it's almost like the time he became president, he's like, I don't even care anymore.
Well, it's like a lot of the people.
When you look back on his older stuff,
they basically. I haven't seen the movie yet, but the movie Vice. It's all about Dick Cheney. Basically, apparently, according to that movie, according to a lot of people, that he was basically the puppet master. He was the one pulling all the strings.
Who, Cheney?
Yeah,
or
Dick
Bush?
Cheney.
Yeah.
Yeah, shot a guy in the face.
Quail. How long have you known me? How long do you think I'm sticking out here and shooting quail?
That was a bit weird, wasn't it, when that all happened?
I'm talking about wedding crashers, when they go quail hunting.
I don't even know what the fuck a quail is.
Yeah.
But I'm psyched. Let's do this. Do you remember, the other thing, too, is crazy.
Do you remember?
Remember when you
that was awesome.
were in the Beatles?
That was awesome. Yeah.
Was it true what you said about the love?
Is that the same skit as the guy that became the the
Chris Farley show?
I know, but what was the Al Frank? Is it
Al Franken?
Is that the same concept? I'm better than.
Stuart Smalley.
Okay, so that was supposed to be a whole different.
Yeah, that was
skit.
called. I think that was called Stuart Smalley show.
He plays for the Charles B. He plays for the Phoenix.
Muggsy B.
He plays for the Phoenix S's.
He would always make those guys laugh too. Look in the mirror. I'm good enough. I'm smart enough. And gosh darn it, people like me.
I love that.
Did you know they made a movie about him with that character? It's called Stuart Saves His Family. Terrible.
Wow.
Awful.
What was Stuart Little?
Stuart Little.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, I always said that they.
Ratatouille.
I asked one. I don't remember where we were, but I was fucking with somebody. I was like, "Hey, did you ever see the Stuart Little 4?" And they were like, "No." And I said, "Oh yeah, it's dark." I said he gets addicted to cheese. Oh. He gets addicted to cheese. It's fucked up. He needs his fix. Those were weird movies, weren't they?
Yeah, I can't remember if it's Stuart Little. I think I've watched it. I think that's the one.
Who's the boy? Didn't it have like a? Wasn't it the boy from Jerry Maguire? Wasn't he in it? Doesn't he play the boy, the brother, Stuart's brother?
What, Jerry Maguire?
You know the little boy in Jerry Maguire.
Yes.
I think he is in Stuart Little.
The voice?
He plays no. The family adopts Stuart Little.
Yeah.
The mouse.
Yeah.
They already have a kid. Him and the kid are like best friends. They're brothers in the movie. Weird.
Well,
I think it's that kid.
Well, I think in Stuart Little 4, he goes up and he finds the Indian in the cupboard.
Great film.
And then
Indian in the Cupboard.
I read the book. I'm one of those guys like, yeah, I read the book.
I actually just saw that the other day on like Amazon Prime or something, and I thought about watching it.
I'm not a Game of Thrones guy. You watched it. I just, it seemed cool, but I'm not a sci-fi guy.
6 great seasons, but the ending was just dog shit.
I'm not a sci-fi guy. It's like, dragons and like The Walking Dead. Like this.
But like the dragons really don't play a huge role until like maybe like the last couple seasons. It's like basically what it really is like a political kind of scheming. It's kind of like that, you know what I mean? Like,
but now that I know the end, it's almost like Lost. Like you've watched Lost. You said it's a great show, but I'd always heard like the ending and. Yeah. But it's but I can't remember who it was. They were talking about with Game of Thrones, or like you got those people that's like, well, I read the book.
Right.
But it's like, well, guess what? In the book, you don't see titties, and you can't just sit on the couch.
They don't even call them titties in the book. They're called bosoms.
Yeah, bosom.
She revealed her bosom, and it's like,
you can visualize it, I guess, if you're into that. But
there's something about the word bosom that's not attractive. Actually, tonight I'm gonna get on Pornhub and type in bosom and see what comes up.
My grandma, she grew up and she's 17 brothers and sisters.
It concerns me that we're talking about bosom and.
The reason you say bosom is because she's got like she grew up in Crooksville and she's got all these like commode, like the toilet's like the commode.
Yeah, that's a weird.
Mar&R, like how fast you're going. You're going 100 Mar&R. Like
my grandma would always like add in R's that aren't even in the word. Washington.
Washington. Yeah.
No, it's Washington.
Well, what's funny is, obviously we grew up together, so obviously our dialect would be kind of similar. But like when I first moved like towards Columbus, it was like went to a party one time. And they're like, "You're not from here, are you?" Like, when someone asks you that,
singling you out already.
Yeah, it's like, well, what do you mean from here? Like the United States, Earth? Like what? Like
this apartment?
Yeah, she's like from Columbus. I'm like, no. She's like, well, I could tell by your voice or whatever. It's like, well,
yeah. When I lived in L.A., people thought I was from the South.
Appalachia. Hey, I got a little bit of discount from college from being from Appalachia. Yeah, I'm Appalachian.
This is a good question. What do you remember when you were a kid? What your parents referred to your dick as when you were a kid?
Pickle.
They called it a pickle. My parents called it dauber.
I've never heard that.
Maybe they were just like a big fan of the
pickle?
show Coach.
Have you ever heard it called a pickle? Oh, so I've never heard it called Coach. Oh, Luther.
They had dauber was the big guy. Remember, he would come in.
The blonde hair guy. Yeah.
So maybe they were just like a big Craig T. Nelson Coach fan. But yeah, we'd call it. They'd be like. My mom literally tells me the story one time of when I was in the bath, and I kept playing with my fucking dick, and my dad had just happened to be. She was on the phone with my dad, and she made my dad talk to me on the phone. I'm like fucking like 2, like I don't even know what the hell's going on. And he was like, Joby, stop touching your dauber.
Playing with your ding.
Quit playing with your dingy. But yeah, they call it a dauber, which is weird.
Yeah, I'll never forget.
But pickle.
Pickle. Yeah, I was a little bit older into. I can remember it, but maybe like 5. And I got out of the shower and I asked my mom what my testicles were. I'm like, "What are these?" And I'm naked. And she instantly.
Hey, what are these?
She instantly pointed to go downstairs to ask your dad.
Totally was like, "Yeah, I'm out on this one. Go ask your dad."
Go ahead. There was a TV show. It It was after Sue Johanson. What was her show? The
Talk Sex with Sue Johanson.
After that, there was a show called Bliss, and it was very soft.
What was Sue Johanson? What channel was that on?
What would that be?
Because I think I got it. I found out about her late.
Yeah.
Hilarious show though.
Great
like you
show.
watch it not even to be informed.
She's an awesome woman. Like I was really.
But you watch it to like laugh.
Don't think that you have to take the whole penis into your mouth. Mm-hmm. Okay? So what you do, you start off with kissing, licking, and sucking.
I wonder if she's still alive.
She is.
Is she?
Mm-hmm. She's
still
like, I was reading something about her a couple months ago.
Because sex keeps
she's
you
like
on.
an immigrant, and she's got into sex. I guess I don't know. I mean, when you do that kind of show, like what?
Yeah,
what gets
like what?
Like everybody's intrigued by that stuff, but then to take it to a next level and
What
actually do it
credentials
publicly. Well, I think it
Do you
was
have to get to that level.
so it was like almost like she was like a like a sex ed. Like it was.
Right.
It was more. It's more supposed to be for knowledge, but
Oh, absolutely.
Vaginal farts are wonderful things. It's something we can do. Guys can't do it. And ours don't stink.
right.
But it was great because people would call in.
Well,
And
if you want
like
to have a good show, you have to call.
she would all and on the table she would
Q&A.
all have like 4 different dildos like on the table. And you're like, what is going on here? What's this? Someone needs to come get their grandma.
So,
Could you imagine if it was your grandma?
I don't know.
Like how you would.
But you would be raised differently. You know what I mean? Like I look at my
They would
grandma
like,
one
probably
way.
be very open.
Right. I look at my grandma one way because she's not Sue Johanson. We did our
Right.
But if I grew up with that, no, grandma's just got dildos lying around. You know, it had just been a
It's Grandma C's dildo collection.
You know,
No big deal.
right? You would just adapt.
Which you're absolutely probably right? It would be very open.
But you could be messed up.
But then could you imagine like being like, let's say Sue has a granddaughter, right? Grandma Sue's normal to her because she's grown up, right?
Right.
But she brings a boy home. This is my grandma. This is Grandma Sue. And the boy's like, hey, your grandma like talking about a lot about sex.
Is he using condoms for bum sex?
No.
Lisa.
And like, what's the deal with all the dildos like in that room?
And it is a strap-on. Now, people think that strap-ons are kind of kinky.
It would be
because that's not
jarring.
Yes, especially if you're meeting it for a girl when you go to a grandma's house, you have a perception. Like,
How do you
okay, I'm gonna walk in. There's gonna be some candles. It's gonna smell
Some
pretty
cookies.
Good. Cookies. It's gonna smell good. You know, there's gonna be a foyer.
Some
you
porcelain dolls are probably gonna be in there.
You know,
somewhere.
wallpaper, and then you walk in, it's boom dildos. Yes, it would throw you off
Yeah, you're immediately off your game.
immediately.
You were on the ropes from the get-go, right? And that's a weird conversation to have.
Instead
if
of a
you're the-
gargoyle, it's just dildos. It's like a Disney movie. Like you walk in, it's just a little hidden, just like little
Right.
hidden
Little, like,
messages.
Easter eggs
Easter
throughout
eggs.
the- yeah.
It's like if you look at the wallpaper, it says contraception. It's like
Right,
little
Yeah, that would
hidden-
be wild. Especially having to have that talk as the granddaughter. Be like, hey, listen, there's something you should know about my grandma. She is very open about sexuality, and you'd be like, oh, okay, she's probably like one of those like loose cannons. She likes to just talk and no
Yeah,
filter.
right.
And then you go in
It's
and
grandma.
you see,
that.
like, hey, this is another level.
You know what I mean? I'm just here for some candy corn. And
Right.
maybe some lozenges,
Some lozenges.
Werthers, some caramels.
Right.
That's grandma got a candy dish.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, grandma. It's
Maybe
weird.
some Fig
Grandmas
Newtons.
love to have like candy dishes and stuff, right?
what they do, man. It's like it's like you came over. What was it? A couple weeks ago. You just come and knock on my door.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
people just don't do that anymore. You
No.
just don't. You have to text like, "Hey, you around?" Like. It's like now it's like someone knocks on my door. It's like, oh, dude. Like you duck. You look through the peephole. It's like, who is this?
Well, immediately I'm thinking, fuck,
Typically
I gotta
it's
go
Amazon.
put some pants on.
Yeah, well, we pants on. You gotta put some pants. We use this Amazon or something, and
Yeah.
he came and knocked. It's like, but like back in those days, like, oh, I was just in the neighborhood, stop by, see the kids.
My grandma had like tons of friends who would always just
Yeah.
drop in.
They'd have a pie in the fridge only for guests. You know,
Yeah.
hey, I won't get this out. Oh, this you cannot eat.
Coffee cake.
Coffee cake.
Another big one.
Only for guests. And guess what? Guess what?
Yeah, my grandma had like a ton of different just coffee friends. They would drop in and they would just talk politics and drink coffee.
My grandma, she's been doing this for a long time. She group, so they all kind of like live in the same. A lot of my family, like they live in where my grandma lives, the same neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
Tuesday ladies, every Tuesday.
So it's
They-
like a
It's a thing.
Like a
They all
ladies' kind of-
and I think what they talked about, they they all write their suggestions where they want to go to eat lunch, and then they pull it out of a hat, I think, and then they're
Interesting.
like, yeah, and then I think sometimes like, oh no, we don't want that.
Could you imagine
It'll pull out,
guys doing that? Could you imagine guys doing that? Like, hey, Roger, we're gonna be at your place on Tuesday. We'll draw out of a hat where we're gonna go eat.
Well, that's like what I talked about with us going to Boca Vista, down there in Florida in our little.
That's what you want. That's your dream in your retirement home.
I mean, Monday euchre, Tuesday bingo night, Wednesday.
Yeah. Plus, all those people are probably like, at that point, you're not living for the weekend. You're just hoping that you live for tomorrow.
Yes. Exactly.
I would just like to live.
You're living
tomorrow.
for tomorrow.
Yeah, and then the old women down there probably getting a little fucking loose.
Did you know that? Like, I think now there's a stat. Now I don't have nothing in front of me.
Stat. It's a
exactly.
Stat.
I'm not gonna say it's the most, but in retirement homes, STDs are rampant.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't know the specific
I
stat.
don't think you
or
need
if
to
it's
know
like
the stat. Just when you have the word rampant, it's a lot. Right?
And honestly, like two. Like if you said like, two people were in there banging.
Well, think if you were.
My job, I deliver into a lot of retirement homes, and it's like I'm very friendly with them. Old people and babies are the two things that I'm very like
uncomfortable.
No, like. I go, like, oh.
Oh, you put a real presentation.
Yes. And then with old people, it's like, man, this could be the last time I, see them.
Right.
And they're in wheelchairs, like, wait, and then just to see that and hear about this, it's like, man, you guys are really banging.
I love how you put that same presentation on for babies and old people.
Yes. Soft spot.
Soft spot.
But yeah, I go in there and they had the best fruit punch, dude. They had the cart that they really.
Wait, sorry, is this like a nursing home?
Yeah, and the first time, sitting right by the nurse's station, the first time I asked because. I mean, now this would probably be totally illegal.
You asked if you could have.
Because I didn't know if they put sleeping aid.
I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean? Is this sleepy time fruit punch? Or is this...
Right, yeah. Is
communal?
This fruit punch or is this fruit punch?
Yes, yeah. Because if I worked at a nursing home, I'd be like, hey, Daryl, dude, we had enough, have the... So,
yeah, drink another fruit punch,
I knocked him like,
Daryl.
Is this good for communal?
Consumption?
She said, yes. Oh, it's the best, dude. It's the best.
Interesting.
It's really good, sweet.
And I bet their applesauce there is good too.
Very good.
You know what I mean?
Chunky. You like chunky?
You think it's chunky applesauce?
Do you like chunky apples?
I don't know. If it's gonna be
cinnamon chunky.
If it's chunky, just give me apple crisp. Right? Just give me apple crisp if we're gonna make it chunky.
Apple crisp. I love apple crisp.
You know what I mean? Let's take one more break. We'll come back. And
my shirt may or may not be off,
I'm
but
working my way there.
It will definitely be on.
And we are back for episode 9, joined by my good friend Cory Mautz.
Still here.
Still here.
Was it Jimmy V? If you laugh, cry, you do 3 things every day.
You are the king of quotes tonight.
And I've botched every single one. Yes.
right. That's your new gimmick. What's that quote?
That one guy, he's the president. He had a long beard, a top hat, got shot in the theater. George Bush.
Yeah, you're the king of misquotes.
I'm the king of getting it close.
Oh, that's a good one. That's how I'm going to introduce you to next episode we do. The king of getting it close.
The only thing getting close counts for is hand grenades and horseshoes. Horseshoes and hand grenades.
It's almost like you've thought about this before.
I've heard it.
Have you literally thought to yourself, like, hey, I get it close a lot?
I've never actually played legit horseshoes.
I've never played horseshoes.
Just messing around. Like, you see it at the...
It looks fun.
Because I would go to Armco Park as a kid. Like, my grandma would take us to Armco Park. Couldn't even tell you where it's like downtown Zanesville.
Never been there.
I remember somewhat here, no, but they had like a horseshoe pit, and you just kind of throw. Like I don't know how to keep score of that. I don't even know, and I've never thrown a hand grenade, but I do know if you get it close. Now,
it's got reach. Basically, is what you're saying. I remember going to Northside Beach.
Do you?
Yeah.
I don't.
I remember going with my grandma.
Lowe's. Because you talking about?
Like, it used to be up by,
where
like,
Lowe's
like Lowe's, yeah.
It was a natural spring. And my
Yeah,
parents,
no, I think you're right.
do you remember going there?
They had the sand beaches, and it closed, and I don't know if...
Did someone drown?
No, I don't know if this is a reason why it closed. I think they just closed it for whatever reason, but a kid died jumping off a diving board there.
Dude, could you imagine if I was still there? What a great idea.
Yeah.
I don't remember going there.
It would be like anything else
Do you
in
know
Zanesville. It would just turn to fucking shit because people don't take care of things.
Well,
you know what I mean?
I guaranteed a lot of beers.
Random fact about Northside Beach when I went there. Mm-hmm. I think it was about the same year that they came out with Crystal Light. You know those drinks?
I don't like Crystal Light.
Crystal Light? My grandma took me there. You know,
and you were just drinking Crystal Lights?
That's how I remember.
I don't like Crystal Light because it's like, have you ever taken a Gatorade bottle, drink a Gatorade, right? And then you go and you refill it in a water fountain? I hate
Still
that.
Get that.
Because it's
you get
too
that little
light.
taste? Yeah.
I want the full flavor.
Well, that's like Crystal Light. It's like, what do you want to be? Are you water?
Do you want lemonade or do you want...
Yeah.
Like, I would make Kool-Aid. Ross Barr, he would come over and we were a big Kool-Aid fan. My parents would be like, you can't drink pop.
Oh, yeah.
Well, they were like, you can't drink pop, it's bad for you. But if they knew how many cups of sugar I would put into a gallon. And he would come over and he would get the runs every time because of the amount of sugar.
Just shit.
So we would make, it would be a gallon, it was the gallon jug, and it would take 2 packets to make a, and I would do about 3.5 cups of sugar. Tasted great.
But
I grew up on it.
As a kid.
You come over to our house.
The thing is, it's like, doesn't quench your thirst. You're just like, oh, fuck. More. I need water now.
I actually did. I made Kool-Aid recently, but then the adult version happened where made Kool-Aid, but then there's this cool drink that Kim and I make, and we need the gallon pitcher, so I had to dump it out for the alcohol.
We have to make decisions.
I know, but man, it was black cherry.
Black cherry. Black cherry is a good one, isn't it? Pretty much like everything they make with
They've
black
got
cherry.
a lot of cool ones now, but it's like a joke like with like at the races, which July 3rd, can't wait for that. But my dad, he's got his racing cooler, and he would stack his cooler up so much with beers.
And all your shit is kids at the bottom.
So then, like me and Tyler, we would have to split 1 32-ounce Powerade for the whole race. You
gotta make sacrifices.
Because he's like, well, I gotta fit these beers in here. It's like
he's like, you'll get there one.
And my brother Tyler, he was bad with the floaties. Like he didn't chew his food.
Oh. So you're saying he would just throw up?
Well, like halfway through the race, he'd go and he's like, oh, dude.
What's his nickname we gave him? Baby Beautiful?
Baby Beautiful.
Well, maybe he was like anorexic, trying to compete in those pageants.
Or bulimic. Anorexic, you don't. Anorexic, you don't eat. Bulimic, you eat, but you throw up.
I think it's pretty evident that I don't know what any of them are because I keep my food down.
Dude, I've tried to gain weight so much, I can't. I want a dad.
I'll give you some of mine. You have some of this?
Dude, I would love like a guy like
these LBs.
I have a vacuum that has to. I know
what you're saying.
As long as you
don't think it would work.
Well, the cutting you.
I don't think our technology is there yet.
Well, I've just I couldn't stat. Like I don't like that. I wouldn't like that feeling.
Yeah, I never done it. Yeah, it's a weird.
It's too personal.
I'm not a needle. Needles just fucking.
I've had an IV one time.
Gross me out.
Yeah.
I actually have to when I'm like getting blood drawn or something. I have to actually lay flat.
Are you one of those ones like? Is it sugar?
I pass out.
You pass out.
Yeah.
Is it because of the way your blood is, or is it because?
No, well, my doctor told me.
Or is it because of the needle?
Well, no. When I was Tri-Valley basketball camp, I was like maybe 5th. That's probably younger than that. Maybe like 4th grade or something. I walked.
Sweet T-shirt and got a little main basketball.
Yeah, great T-shirts. I walked to my grandma's house after basketball camp, and she was pulling up the tile on her kitchen floor. Getting a new
Grandma's just doing it on the head.
So today
I'm gonna wake up. I'm just gonna pull this tile.
I'll help you. And those little like putty knife things,
absolutely.
The long thing.
Yep.
It jumped off the tile.
Cut you.
It got me right in the finger. And
how bad?
I didn't have to have stitches.
Yeah, you didn't have to have stitches.
No, but I went to the bathroom and my grandma was like, washing it off for me.
Neosporin.
And I just remember going, I don't feel good, and just done out. And when I came to, the ambulance was there.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Grandmas
My
don't
grandma
mess
freaked
around.
out.
Hey.
She didn't know what to
exactly.
do. Right? So that happened, right? Years later, this is senior year, high school.
The blood
I
drive.
donate blood, right?
I didn't do it.
You remember Kylie Little?
Mm-hmm.
Her mom was
the
volunteering.
nurse?
She was the one. And I was sitting there and laying down, and I just remember going, this is happening. And I just passed out there. And when I passed out, my body, like, tightened. And she was, like, trying to get the needle out, but I was, like, my body was,
Oh, you were like
tightening.
convulsing a little?
Yeah, but not like,
Yeah.
my body just, like,
Right,
fucking tensed
tense.
up. Yeah. And I came to, and she looked like she had just seen a fucking ghost because she was, like, pale white. And I felt fine, like, after I, like, came to. And everybody in the gymnasium was fucking petrified. And I
Yeah,
remember
they just
going
thought they
to
saw a guy die.
I remember going to the office being like, hey, I just passed out. I need to go home.
Go to the nurse.
Well, I felt fine. So
I
was
mean,
like,
I felt bad. And I don't think I would have passed out. I just don't like the needles. But I remember Josh Collier, he passed out, and they gave him a cookie.
yeah.
And he's got to sit. And I'm like, man, that's actually not
They
a
give you
bad
that
deal.
for like a kind of like a sugar kind of.
Yeah, maybe your blood sugar's low or whatever.
Yeah, and then later I went to the doctor's office. I was sick at this point. They drew blood, and I was sitting in like I was sitting in like a chair or something when they drew it, and I passed out then. And they told me like that apparently it's like kind of a common thing.
Oh, I'm sure.
And
Well,
guys,
yeah.
that you have to like lay flat out because your body will literally just like zero out.
So if you lay flat,
If I lay flat, I'm fine. It's weird.
no,
It's weird.
it's like how I like my women. Just
Yeah.
lay flat.
Flat out. Flat out.
Just lay
You're
out.
gonna pass out. That got dark. All right, listen.
Real quick.
Something that
But
we're
yeah,
gonna.
the races.
Yeah, the races. We're gonna be
yeah,
doing the
the-
races thing here soon. Tailgate show, July 3rd. Gonna be a hell of a night. Mike
Fireworks.
Mike Mott's gonna be down there. The Cougars gonna be down there. We're gonna be set up. Firework,
Plan
hell
it.
of a fireworks show.
Too much fireworks.
You said this. It's like 20 minutes long.
It's very good.
Yeah.
But I'm not a big fireworks guy.
Not really. What do you just like? Not like joyful things?
Well, I mean, it's like, okay.
You just feel like they overdo the
I
fireworks.
love that. Well, it's like, well, I don't have. If you had kids, like you want to take your kids to go see the fireworks, like that's kind of cool.
Right.
Like,
I remember seeing it as a kid, and it was like incredible.
were you scared of them as a kid? Like it
No.
never really did it. I
was
remember my
never
parents
scared.
had an awesome. We had this big van. It was awesome. It had running lights in the inside. This thing, I'm telling you, this thing was pretty cool, and it had a very sensitive alarm system. And the fireworks set it off one time.
Set it
You just
off?
hear beep beep beep. But I love the weeping willows.
Yeah, you like this one? Yeah, because they give you a little after. Once they give you the initial firework, but there's still show afterwards.
But one time, like, dude, it is really it's because I think downtown still does their
Yeah, like on the river,
yeah. What do they call that? What's that area?
Zane's Landing.
Zane's Landing. Is that where Lorena?
Never really watched this. Just never really cared.
Well, my dad, when he worked at Nestle Purina right off the Y Bridge, we would climb up and we got to go up on the rooftop as a kid. It was kind of cool.
Well, yeah, you always take advantage of that.
But yeah, the fireworks are. I mean, it's pretty. And the cool thing is, like, people just drive in. If you've ever noticed, like,
Oh, yeah.
cars, like, they'll
Along the
line up
road.
on 60.
Yeah.
From my house, can you? Well, you probably
Definitely see it from my
you're way
parents'
close.
place.
You could almost walk there.
Yeah, we would go out on the back deck and just watch them.
Yep. Because back when Muskingum, they used to do that every night. They would race every Friday night or Saturday night. It was just you could just hear them from the
Talking
back.
about back in the day.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, can you hear 'em? Could you hear
Yep.
the cars at your
Yep, you could
parents?
hear 'em.
Yeah, you could totally hear.
Because
them.
there have been times where like it was raining, so we'd go home, and my dad would be like, "Oh, I can hear them."
They're starting.
Go back down there.
The other thing though too about the fireworks is they do it at the very end, right?
No, right before the feature.
Right before the feature.
But if there's rain, there's been times where rain's in the forecast, they'll bust the feature out.
Right.
You know what I mean? Get these guys on the
Gotta get
track, and
moving.
then.
Yeah, because you can't be doing the fireworks like.
Because there's been a
one-
delay before with the smoke from the fireworks and shit.
Oh, yeah.
And the great thing, I'm telling you, I can't remember the exact, but it's the same CD they play during the fireworks every year. And when I get there, I'll remember when I hear the first song.
Well,
It's
Bernie
like
said there's a new one.
No way.
He said last episode.
There's no way.
He said my cousin built a new playlist. He said it's got on some Toby Keith in it.
Well, put a boot in.
Yep.
Because it starts off with like God bless, and then it goes into Toby Keith, and
Sorry,
then
so maybe it's just the same.
and it's 4 songs and it's just repeat.
So it starts off with some Lee Greenwood. Proud to be an American.
And then Toby Keith, put a boot in your ass.
Yeah, so maybe it's the same thing then.
I don't know.
I guess we're going to find out.
I think it's just a boombox up to a microphone.
It's not on their sound system. That's their sound system.
I think it is.
It's an old boom box.
But yes, we're going to do a little tailgate show. And
Yep. We're going to be doing
I'm telling
it.
you what, could be candid interviews.
We're going to get some. There's going to be some wild people down there. Yeah, I mean, you know as much as I do.
A microphone, alcohol,
You had
racing t-shirts.
You see, you go down there with a camera and a microphone.
They'll tell you anything you
The
want.
beer's already flowing. The liquor, God knows what else. They see a microphone and a camera, automatic.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to give you a piece of my mind.
I'm going to tell you about
That's
it.
what we're there for. Give us a piece of
And the best part about dirt track races is the racing T-shirt. You already know who they're pulling for. You
can't tell.
You know, you got a Scott Bloomquist shirt on, but hey, what do you think about Bloomer tonight? You know, someone's got a real deal Don O'Neill shirt on, but hey, what do you think about him?
Shirts are literally just such chaos that like
There's a lot.
you have to
going
like
on.
really like pay attention. Like who the hell is that?
The best is when the person that sits in front of you has like an Eldora shirt that gets you all the past winners.
Yeah.
I can learn a lot. I'm like, okay,
read a little
1990,
bit during the downtime?
Blackjack Boggs. Wow, 1990. You know, wow.
Yeah, it's gonna be a
Oh, we
party.
won back to back.
Yeah, so if you happen to be at the July 3rd race, come out, come hang with us at the tailgate. We'll be there. We'll be kicking it.
I'll be the loudest one.
You'll
You'll know.
just listen for Cory. We'll be there.
When
Mike Mautz will be making an appearance. I'm really looking forward to that.
When I'm drinking, there's three things that happen. I become a millionaire
Yes.
in my head.
In your head.
Hey, whatever you want, I got you.
Right.
I got it.
Right.
2, you go deaf. So I had to talk. I feel like
You feel like everyone's
I feel like you can't hear me.
right.
And if I may want to make a point, I wanted to say it one time and one time.
We'll drive it home.
I'm gonna drive. I really want to. So I talk a little louder. And 3, Taco Bell, Crunch Ups.
Taco Bell?
The quesarito.
Well, that's a good
You know,
ending, though, right?
It is.
I feel like for Taco Bell, you should have to do a breathalyzer and fail it for them to serve you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's a good 3. It's a pretty good 3. So come out July 3rd, witness that.
We'll have cornhole.
Yeah, there'll be tons
We'll
of shit going on.
we'll have your typical dirt track racing stuff.
Yeah, it's gonna be a party. We're gonna be celebrating in America.
Funny thing is, one time, it was a few years ago, it was July 3rd, it got rained out. I was living in Columbus, and I got dressed up to go to a dirt track race. You know, you got your
Right.
old dirt shirt on,
Right.
you got your
You're dressing for the evening.
your bad jeans,
Right.
You know, the ripped up jeans.
'Cause you're gonna get a little dirty.
You're gonna get dirty. And then I got halfway there, and my dad texted me. He goes, "It's canceled." Turned around, went back, completely changed my attire, and went downtown Columbus. Put on like a polo shirt. It's like, wow,
Versatile.
I just did a complete 180.
You're almost like a Superman. Like you stepped in a phone booth, all of a sudden, you're downtown.
I wear mini hats.
I like that.
But yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. We do it every year.
I'm looking forward to it. Yep, it's always a
Pink.
good time.
Oh, he'll be there. It's the
Always a good
pancake
time.
breakfast. It's a pancake breakfast. We do it every year.
We do it every year.
He'll be there.
Something else. We'll touch
there's
base on
more.
before.
There's more.
Well, yeah, there's more.
Okay.
We,
Well, I get paid by the minute.
well, I'm leaning into something that I'm ready to hear.
Oh.
A new segment that we're gonna start doing. Cory Mautz's Power 5.
Cory Mautz's Power 5.
All right.
Cool.
So, do you want to explain what this segment
It's intricate.
is? It's a lot goes into it.
There's a lot of thought that goes into it. Very picky.
And the list is very esteemed.
It's hard.
You got to make if you're on the list, you made the list.
Exactly. And I don't want it to be your typical type of list. I want to be like the old Taco Bell. Think outside the box. No, I think they said think outside the bun.
No, they don't have buns at Taco Bell.
I
What are you
know.
talking about?
Think outside the bun to come Taco Bell.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
But someone did think outside the box.
Tricky.
But think outside the. But it's a Power 5, and I created a rap for it, but I won't do it.
Right.
But I'll give the first line. I'm just going to do it anyway.
Do the first one.
This is the Power 5. I throw all my candidates into a beehive. Only the strong will survive. There's more, but
It's a hit single.
It tails off.
It does. It drops off.
Yeah, this is no Lou Bega, but
No. Well, not
You know.
not many things.
All
are.
right.
All right, so give us the topic.
Okay, so-
of the very first Power 5.
Soul patches.
Interesting. Because it's
Give me your definition of a soul patch.
All right, my definition of a soul patch, and this is tricky,
It is. Because there's different varieties of a soul patch.
right? Because you could do the actual soul patch and then have something down here, which I think is like a little conquistador. You know what I'm saying?
Conquistador.
But if we're talking like hardcore soul patch, just the soul patch.
Just a soul patch. I don't want no mustache.
I
don't want no chin.
want a nice tight triangle right below the bottom lip.
Is it a thing? I don't even really know. And
I don't think-
goatees as well. Maybe I'll
It's
get
definitely
one.
not a thing anymore, and for good reason.
That's
The
actually
balls,
the.
it takes
let's be
the-
honest, that's the one thing I shave is the soul patch
This
part.
thing is out of control. This thing's fanned out. It's fanned out. It's trying to escape.
Yeah. So my definition of a soul patch is it's just this.
Just the triangle.
And what a power statement.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It takes balls.
It takes balls.
Be like, I'm
just gonna walk out of the
I'm gonna
house
do
today
this.
with the one part that most people typically shave off.
Right,
You know?
right.
Now it can be just here. Sometimes you get just a straight line. I'll allow that.
Ooh,
But it's different.
I have to give that a hard pass. You're talking just straight line
Yes.
down.
And those are typical. So my honorable mentions. So I'm gonna start off with this.
Yep,
was
honorable
like
mention.
John Travolta and Swordfish.
Okay.
Do you know what? You remember what he looked
Yeah.
like in that?
Yeah, he pulls it off kind of like an evil vibe with his soul patch.
And it's a good soul patch, but it's not a real. He's doing it for a character in a movie.
Right.
So,
He's not doing it for the right reasons.
but I wanted to give him the proper credit here
Well,
because it's a
that's
decent
why he's
soul
an
patch.
honorable mention. We're going to mention him.
And Phil Jackson,
Well, see, that's a good one.
but he's got a mustache. I think that comes with
does.
it. But it's like if he's just if he kept the mustache and you saw me, you just went like that, he'd look like a totally different person.
Yeah.
Just by going like that, like wow.
Yeah, that's
Ooh,
weird, isn't it?
Who's that? And he was banging the Lakers' wife or owners.
Yeah.
Jeannie Buss.
Jeannie Buss.
Yeah, which is cool.
So, all right, so John Travolta, Phil Jackson.
From Swordfish, not.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We
Oh,
should
did he
clarify.
have Pulp Fiction? Did he have?
No.
No.
Nope.
And then the other one is The Boss, Bruce Springsteen.
Oh, that's,
But I think he's got a little bit of a mustache. Or under chin.
He might have a
I
little
put him on
under chin.
honorable mention for a reason.
But yeah, you're right. He does have a very good soul
And it would
patch.
totally change how he looked if he got rid
But,
of
you know, the other thing is, though, he's the boss.
He's the boss.
So the soul patch doesn't make him. He makes the soul patch.
He is the soul patch.
Good-
If he
yeah,
just
good
gets rid
point.
of.
Right.
Just
the boss can do what he
He
wants.
can do whatever he wants. And then I've got Fred Durst. And he's got, it's cool because it's the straight line, but he's kind of got a little bit of the chin thing. But Limp Bizkit was kind of like.
He did it all for the nookie, though. That's
he did
the
it
only
all
reason
for
he
the
did the soul
nookie.
patch. And the backwards red hat.
Like he's a guy that like you could just instantly tell like, oh, that's Fred Durst.
Oh, yeah.
What's the Eminem song? Sit me next to Carson Daly and Fred Durst.
Yeah.
See,
Wonder which one she gave head to first.
is it about Christina Aguilera?
Yeah, Christina Aguilera.
I'm a genie and Aguilera's. She's
Yeah, what
still
happened?
kind
Where's
of.
she at? Right?
No, she had a kid, and I don't know. Britney Spears is off the rocker. I think at least I think Christina's in a little bit better place, and
They're
Britney.
all off the rocker. All right,
Someone's-
that's 3 solid honorable mentions.
And then my one of my final. Well, actually, I had, William Shakespeare, but
All right, he's
that's
an
cool.
honorable mention.
He's an honorable mention, but he's got too much going. And then every '90s baseball reliever.
Oh, yeah, good
Like I
call.
feel like every pitcher, like
Everyone
if you're
from the
coming running
90s.
out of that bullpen, like you had it.
You're right. That's a weird thing, though, right? The 90s, that was the thing.
When you think of '90s baseball, first team that comes to your mind,
Atlanta Braves.
Atlanta Braves.
Weird, right? Because they had a fucking
They had their own
incredible team in the 90s.
They were
What was the
good.
fucking outfielder?
David Justice, Kenny Lofton,
Kenny Lofton.
Fred
No,
McGriff, the crime dog.
There's
He
another
played
one I'm
first
thinking
base. Well, had John Rocker. Remember him?
I want to say
He-
Jordan. It's not Jordan.
Jordan. David Justice was popular. Jordan.
Can't think of his name.
Oh, Brian Jordan. He was a
Brian,
football
yeah.
player too. He was a multi.
And then obviously they had.
He played for the Atlanta Falcons.
They obviously
Dion,
had Chipper Jones.
Chip Jones,
They had a squad.
and remember the Chicks dig the long ball. Tom Glavine, Greg Maddox, and John Smoltz, the 3 pitchers.
Yeah, they had like an incredible.
They would
pitching
hit
squad.
because in the National League, you pitchers hit, and they would hit home, and like Chicks dig the long ball. It's like, look it up. Great commercial, old school commercial, but it was great. But yeah, the Atlanta Braves, they were good. The crime dog, I love Fred McGriff.
That was a good call. Well, baseball team do you think of the 90s?
Because typically you would think like Yankees, because they were always, but like the Braves, because they had their own Turner, whatever the.
TNT?
Well,
About, Ted Turner?
Ted Turner, he owned the Braves, so I think it was on TBS though. Turner's still part of TBS because I think it was on
you're probably
TBS.
right.
It was on TV.
Well, yeah, TBS is Turner Broadcasting System.
I went to a Cincinnati Reds game one time. Deion Sanders, when he was playing for the Reds, he hit 2, maybe 3 home runs. He was not a home run hitter.
Dude,
We left there.
talk about an athlete. Man.
He's my favorite.
Dion. Remember
It was
Deion
more-
Sanders' prime time, the video game?
Oh yeah.
Football game.
But see, the thing about Deion was he was great, but it was more of his persona. He's like a wrestler.
Right.
You know, he put his bandana on, and
Right.
you
He was
know,
a brand.
He was a brand
Yeah.
back when, like, you know, obviously I'm a Cowboys fan, but all right, but
So
yeah,
that's-
so there's
that's
the
your
honorable
honorable
mention.
So now we start with number 5
All
of
right.
the power rankings of top 5 soul patches.
Number 5, Apollo Anton Ono.
Interesting pick.
Do you remember him?
I do. Speed skater,
Speed
right?
skater.
I do.
He took the world by storm.
And he had like kind of a longer one.
Oh, it was
Right?
It's solid.
Like it was hanging out there by itself. It was almost speed skating.
Aerodynamic.
Interesting.
Because if he would have done the full, like the triangle, like you talked about, it would have, if you
Too
keep
much.
it straight down.
The wind breaks off. It's almost like a cutting.
It's like when I ride my bike, like you see
Right.
you know, you've been.
Yeah, lean
I would do
forward.
that sometimes. Like, wow, I'm getting
Become one with the wind.
the wind.
All right, number 5. That's a good one. Number 5. We're starting off here.
It's a throwback,
It is.
and it's a solid one. I want
but
to say
when you look it up, you
2000.
go, yeah, it's a good soul patch.
It's easy to figure out. Well, Winter Olympics, I think. Yeah, whatever. And then number 4 is Billy Bob Thornton. And
That's a great one.
And the reason it's a good one, and the reason I put it on there is because if he took it off, again, I'm stuck on that. If you take that, it would really change the way you look.
Also in Swordfish.
You're
I'm
right.
starting to think that you just like the movie Swordfish.
Swordfish is. I like Swordfish. Well, you're a movie guy, but
Yeah, Swordfish
it's hard
is
for me
good.
to talk about movies with you. It's like, oh, I like that movie, and you're kind of like, well, yeah.
He is a Swordfish, right? Yeah, he's a Swordfish.
Yeah, he's
I'm
a
thinking Monsters Ball. I remember that one too.
Monsters Inc.
That's
Monsters Ball. Who's
That
in it?
one's with Billy Bob Thornton and Heath Ledger
Oh
and
yeah.
Halle Berry. He nails Halle Berry in it. She's naked, but I think she shows her tits in Swordfish.
She does.
So maybe Halle Berry's the way I'm.
And she's
connecting.
hotter now. Halle Berry, I think it's actually.
Smoke Show.
What's I just watched a movie with her. Like, it's a newer movie I watched about a year ago where she chases down a guy. A guy steals her kid or something from a.
Yeah. She saves some girl. Isn't she a?
It's her- it's like her-
dispatch. Isn't she like 911 dispatch? I know what you're talking
No,
about.
she's in a minivan and she chases this guy
I
down.
don't remember.
It's about a year. Yeah. Number 3,
Number 3.
and I've seen this guy in concert before. I think he played. I think it was in Columbus State Fair, and I wore a shirt that says "Achy Breaky Heart." Billy Ray Cyrus.
Billy Ray.
What other songs does he have?
He covered, I think like his second song he came out with after Achy Breaky Heart was an Elvis cover. I think it might have been Suspicious Minds.
Dude, have you ever listened to Achy Breaky Heart? Dude, that song sucks.
The music video, hilarious.
Is it?
Yeah.
That
But not only great soul patch, incredible mullet.
the dude's awesome. Dude's pretty cool. But yeah, I wish I had that shirt. Well, I couldn't wear it. But it
Billy
said
Ray
like
Cyrus-
Achy Breaky Heart and had a big heart with like a
jacket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was at the Columbus, the State Fair in Columbus. Went and saw him.
That would be a great shirt to still have, wouldn't it?
I saw Leanne Rhymes one time at Old Cooper Stadium, Columbus Clippers game.
Yeah.
How do I get through one night without you? I love that
That's the
song.
preview for this episode right there. Don't tell me use that as the preview.
If I live without
Leanne.
you.
All right, so that was what, number 3?
Number 3,
Number 2.
Howie Mandel.
I think it helps that he's bald. Really brings out his soul patch.
And it's black. Like
and
it's
his is
dark.
a true soul patch.
Yeah. Mine's Mr. Clean.
I
It's a
think-
true. Really, the definition of a soul patch is that, but, you know,
And he really leans into it. Like that's his.
he's a
that's,
germaphobe.
That's he is. He is.
Do you think that's why he shaves his head? Or do you think he's bald? Because, like, germaphobes, like, you know, you.
I think he's bald for sure. But yeah,
Do
prominent.
you, is he on America's Got Talent?
I don't know. What is it, dude?
Yeah,
There's like
Simon
100
Cowell.
of those shows.
I know.
Who would
Simon
know?
Cowell. I like it, though.
That's
It's
number,
a decent show.
He's number 2.
Well, I think you know where I'm going with number 1. And Howie Mandel has one, but number one, my favorite artist of all time. I've seen him in concert now twice.
Oh, okay, wait, yeah, I know where you're going with that.
I went to Heinz Field, 2 or 3 weekends ago.
There's like 85,000 people.
Oh, yeah, and it was an outdoor. That's the first. Well, I've been to an outdoor. I guess I've been to Old Polaris Amphitheater, but yeah, I went to Heinz Field. 85,000.
Crazy.
But it's Persona. I don't know exactly what the hell was going on.
Wait, so it's the Persona that's number one?
Yes, Chris Gaines. What the hell?
So for the people that don't know, Chris Gaines, it's
Garth Brooks.
And
I think he tried to pay money
to wipe
get
it, from existence, from.
We all go through a phase.
But they did this is Garth Brooks did this character, right? It was in the early 2000s.
Because
2000,
he hit his peak like late 90s, and then he's like, well,
I want to do
to try to get in a different crowd.
And it was kind of weird alternative, kind of rock country.
It embarrassed me for the longest time. I'm like, wow, this was my favorite artist.
The character, his name's Chris Gaines. And he had an emo cut, right? And it was jet black with the soul patch. And I remember they did a VH1 behind the music on Chris Gaines, he was a real guy. It wasn't Garth Brooks as Chris Gaines. No, Chris Gaines is his own guy. Yeah. And they gave him this whole backstory.
There is no backstory.
I saw it on YouTube maybe a year ago.
Is it that, what's that 3000, or what's that show, the robot and the guy, they sit in the theater and they
oh yeah, Mystery Science Theater.
Yeah. It's almost like what that is.
Yeah, it was
we're just going to make up our own backstory about
so
this.
cringeworthy. You're oh god.
Hell of an entertainer though, man. Dude, Garth.
Number one king of soul patch, Chris Gaines.
Because it's solid, number one. And number two, he did it just for a character.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That did not work out at all.
Yeah,
they came. Well, he actually released the album, right?
Yeah, Chris Gaines it had an album. And now, good luck. You could probably.
I don't know if you can find it.
But it's I forgot what I was going to say.
Well, I think I remember, I don't know if I read it or something, or maybe it was a video or something. I think that he actually did pay people to
I think he's trying to
seek out any recordings or video and just wipe it.
Well, it's with Facebook, it's you get those memories. Right. It's I think I got on Facebook. It'd been summer after our senior year of high school. Because back when you had to be in college, you had to have a college.
You see him now, and you're like,
oh, dude, I've deleted so many pictures. So everybody goes through a little phase.
Yeah.
It was his phase. Look, it turned out it was in the limelight.
We all have our Chris Gaines moment.
Yeah.
Right.
I was wearing a lot of flat bill hats.
Right. I'm not gonna bend this bill.
I was wearing some sweatshirts that had a lot of designs. I never got into Affliction.
No, I did not. That's a good move. But listen, we all owned a pair of Jinko jeans at one point.
Nope, I didn't do that.
Didn't do it. Neither did I.
Baggy jeans. He had the hook.
Oh yeah.
The jeans that had the hook.
Isn't that weird? They had the hook back there. What's that for?
It's with my dad, the jeans would be ripped, it was the thing, popping the collar,
Oh, yeah.
But the jeans would be ripped, and Dad would be well, these half off, typical dad, which is great. There's another thing I talk about with my dad, was when texting became kind of a thing. Right. He goes, why the hell you guys need, because the cell phone bill then would be a little bit, why are you, just call him, and now he just lives on text.
Oh, I can't stand talking to people.
I can't stand it.
Just text me.
I'm a pacer. If I'm talking to you on the phone, I'm pacing.
Yeah, and I have this weird thing where someone calls me, I need to step away, and I can't be around people when I'm on the phone.
Yeah.
And the other thing too is don't call me.
Don't call me.
Just text me what you have to say, because I literally look at it ring 10 times and go, oh god.
Well, the first ring is what are we going to talk about?
Yeah, and you always have that one person that calls you that you have to try and get off the phone with, and it's a nightmare.
Well, it's every time you try to get off the phone, you have to say it, because there's always going to be that 5 more minutes.
Right.
No matter, even when you're trying to leave a place.
This is when you screw yourself. You go, all right.
Yeah.
All right.
It's you get ready to leave a bar or whatever. You got to give yourself that 5 minute buffer, because you're going to say, hey, I'm getting ready to go.
Buffer
then
time.
You're going to have that 5 more minutes where you just finish up.
Yeah, you got to cut. You got to cut and get out. You got to
find.
I love
what's it called, the Irish goodbye.
What's the Irish goodbye?
Just leave. just ghost. That's me.
I love
I'm like, I want to go to the bathroom and just go home.
He never came back.
Yeah, just go home.
Whatever. I'm gonna start using
what am I going to? Because it's I gotta say bye to them. Say bye.
The Irish goodbye. I'm gonna start using that.
I think it's called the Irish goodbye. It's yeah, and then it's I'll get a text an hour later, where you at, dude? I already got tomato soup.
Hey, listen, something
I've already
came
been
up.
to Taco Bell, dude. I'm in bed.
That's funny. Well, hey, man. Episode 9 in the books. It's fun, as always. We're going to be doing this again here soon with the tailgate. Going to be a party.
Little Eddie Sunoco race fuel.
It's going to be good. It's going to be a good night.
And Devin, obviously, it's his
Devin
track.
Ryan.
He's going to be a favorite.
It's like,
I don't want to put pressure on you, number one.
I plan on going there and having a cooler. Remember
Koozie.
last year we got that fucking Carino's pizza.
Well, yes, if you wait till about 10 o'clock,
You can get a good...
about half off.
Yep.
You give 'em one. But yeah, hopefully, because the last time was when you came up in the glorious fashion in that good wrench jacket.
You're goddamn right I did. Had to buy Dale Earnhardt.
So Joby went to Disney, and Joby will pay $300 for this to go to a concert or flight, and then he just goes to the merch stand. He's just you're just.
Well, how do people go there that I went?
Oh, right. We went to the concert, the Cadillac 3.
Yeah.
I took 2 pisses, grabbed 2 different types of beers,
Bought this.
and you were still at the merch stand.
Bought the old drum.
You bought everything they had available. You were still there.
I think this was like $100.
Yeah, and then when you put the post up on Disney, I'm like, it's that old Discover card commercial where it's like $300 for a plane ticket, $300 for a hotel pack,
Right.
$90 for Disney. Buying everything at the merch stand, priceless.
Yeah, and the thing is, didn't buy a whole lot of Disney. A couple of hats.
Yeah.
That was
But
it.
at Muskingum, you saw that we walked back.
I got a
and
great deal on it.
There's this good wrench jacket. It's hanging.
It's hanging up there, over there somewhere.
It's hanging on.
I'll take it for the
Yeah.
tailgate podcast.
Yeah,
I had to rock
it's hanging, and your eye. You were like a bug in a bug zapper.
Yeah, remember I looked at you and I went, look
Ooh,
at that.
I gotta get
Glorious.
that. Well, we went to the porta potties. You came back. You're like, I'm still thinking about it. I'm hung up on it. I'm like,
And
we'll
the
just do
guy,
it.
the guy was like, you like that jacket?
You're
I was
like, you're
yeah.
damn right I do.
And I saw it was $125.
Yeah.
He goes, I'll sell it to you for $60.
Well, you were down there for a
Sold.
while. Well, because you were down there for a while.
It was barter.
And you're sitting there, and it was just like, oh,
You can't
do I
put-
want to go to the light? Do I want to
I told myself, do it for Dale. Do it for Dale.
raise hell, praise Dale?
Raise hail, praise Dale.
I would go back to the seat. 10 minutes later, you turn that corner in glorious
Walk
fashion.
strutting up them fucking
You had
benches.
that jacket on.
I'm gonna rock it again. Probably gonna be a little hot. Still gonna take it. But
Vendors at the races, be ready. Give
it's
me
happening.
back.
July 3rd. Join us. Till next week. Cory, me. Thanks for watching. See you next week.